right, if you're just joining us, you're still on to Enterprise Morning, reaching you from Enterprise Television. Let's get to our conversation for today. President Bola Tinubu met suspended Rivers State Governor Siminalayi Fubara in London, making their first face-to-face meeting since Tinubu declared a state of emergency in Rivers on March the 18th. The move removed the Fubara and his deputy Ngozi Odu, citing months of intense political instability that paralyzed governance. Vice-Admiral Ibas was appointed sole administrator. The London meeting, reportedly requested by Fubara, aimed to calm the ongoing crisis. Tinubu had been abroad since April the 2nd, first in Paris and then London. Those specifics were shared. Sources say they discussed the possibility of Fubara returning to office before his 6 months suspension ends. Notably, absent was Fubara's political godfather, current FCT Minister Nyesom Wike, who was said to be uneasy about the talks. Tinubu expected to meet with Fubara, Wike and Rivers State lawmakers soon to find out what has to be done there. We still have with us Barrister Tunji Abdul Hamid. Thank you so very much, Barrister, for being here. We truly do appreciate you.
Thank you for having me.
All right, so let's get into talking on this particular matter. Do you really think Nyesom Wike is truly disturbed, knowing that he was not at the meeting, which of course he would have loved to be in at this point? And what does it speak to the relevance of Nyesom Wike with President Bola Tinubu?
Yeah, I think every politician who is having see, in politics, even 1 hour, it's a long time. So if you have a meeting today and few hours later, those positions you've reached at that meeting may change. So you don't go to sleep on that conclusion. That solution is finalized. So Wike may be worried to an extent that, look, he wasn't part of the meeting. He may be worried as to maybe he is not aware of what they have said behind him. But the president that I know and the way Mr. Wike is today, the president will not do anything that will affect the interest of Mr. Wike. All along, if you see the kind of intervention by the president, you will realize that Mr. President is indirectly working for Mr. Wike. So if whatever the meeting they are holding today, I believe what I am thinking that will be the discussion is that, look, this is politics. I allowed your guy to be in charge. Do this for him. Went to his and you enjoy your stay. If I even come to our party and then you were so this, maybe those are kind of a discussion. And then you see most of our politicians in Nigeria, they are selfish. When the politicians don't fight for you, they are fighting for themselves. And that's why you see anything that will bring Mr. Fubara back, he may not be fast to it. He may want to accept and say, okay, if it's me begging, especially when Mr. Wike has even said, if he apologizes, I will accept it.
Yes.
So he may even say that is the way to go, that the man as if he's even ready to accept me if I come to apologize. So we have a system in Nigeria that is not about people. It's about their interest. Even our people are not even there. Because most people are saying, Fubara to just comply so that he will enjoy his stay in office. People don't even care. What the people concerned about is that how to retain your position. So whether you compromise and give the entire state to an individual, whether you compromise and give the entire resources of the state to an individual, people don't care. What people are talking about is that just comply, just cooperate, just play politics and enjoy your position. It's a sad situation that we have ourselves in the country, and I will not be surprised if Mr. Fubara is also thinking that line, that let me just go and meet them, let me talk to them, let me find a way around the issue, let me tell them my desire to be subservient to them, and then they cooperate, and then I continue with my office. Yeah, I will not be surprised if that we have not the gist or the cocoa of what they discuss in local palace has not been. We have not seen it. We only know they met and they discussed. There is no highlight as to what they have discussed. But I know it's about Fubara coming back or not coming back, or about what Fubara will do for him to be able to come back. So I think it's a meeting that they need to this kind of a meeting. If a meeting had been held earlier before now, were not a kind of meeting that the president is showing a side, probably they will not be in this level. If the president has talked true to his minister, look, you are now you are no longer a governor. You are now a minister at the FEC. Allow the governor to run his race in the state. Maybe probably will not be here. But the president is not even willing to do that because the president is playing politics. The president is interested in River State and almost any other state that is available to carry because of 2027. So the president wants to be in good book of Mr. Wike, thinking Mr. Wike has the control of River State. Now that if they have Mr. Fubara in their midst, it makes River State easy for them. They have the governor, they have Mr. Wike, then River State become an easy area to catch. You see, if you recall, some governors are already expressing their desire to work for the president openly because of that. Most of them, people would think they are doing it for their states. They are doing it for their personal interest. They want to go back to get their second term with ease, and that's what they are doing. They are playing politics to be able to. That kind of policies is that's what the people in Nigeria will celebrate as somebody who know how to play politics. When you are in Nigeria and you know how to maneuver, you know how to compromise, you know how to manipulate, then people praise you and say you are a good politician. People will not praise you to say this man is a good, is a good administrator. He can govern very well. He know how to govern. They won't tell you that. What they will tell you is that you know how to play politics. And you see what if you listen to, if you watch Mr. Wike's media chats, which I don't even see any relevance of it, you will realize that whenever they ask him questions, he talk about as a politician. As a politician. So their own is not about governance, it's about politics. So if you believe any of them, it's at their own peril. They are working for their own personal interest. They are not working for you. And that's what I want people to know. The majority of these people are whatever they are doing, they will say in the interest of the state. Because for instance, Governor Akwa Ibom say that he wants to align with the state at the center. What is the meaning of alignment with the state at the center? Are you saying if a state is not a APC state, that state will not develop? Are you not collecting money? Is the government not collecting money for development of the state? Is not making money for the purpose of developing the state? Why must it be federal that will help him develop the state? Why must it be alignment with the federal? Wike, when he was in power, he has no alignment with the federal. Yes. So he was even fighting them. He was able to do certain things that the people are praising him for. So I don't know why some people, because some governors are lazy. They don't even have what it takes to be governor. They were just lucky to be there. They are just privileged. In this country, any idiot can become a governor as long as you have money or you have people around you who can manipulate him. That's what it takes to win the election, to become a governor in Nigeria. Not your intelligence, not your brilliancy, not what you have upstairs, but your ability to manipulate. Once you have that and you have money and you can manipulate, you can become a governor in this country. And that's why it's very easy for them to manipulate people and tell them
yes,
for the benefit of you people, so that they will be able to attract the better people into our state. How can you say so? Are you not as a governor? Are you not making money? Are you not collecting allocation? Are you not collecting IGR? Are you not making IGR in your state? What is the essence of those money for? Is it not for development of the state? The current president of today, in 1999 or so, he has issue with the federal. And that was what even gave them the courage to think outside the box and create a avenue to make more money, even in a way that is creating hardship to the people. But people were celebrating them because they were able to wriggle around without even recourse to the federal government. So, but because we have governors here who cannot even think, who don't know what to do, they want to just look for shortcuts and do that. So, I will not be surprised if Mr. Fubara, in an attempt to return back to the office as governor, because for his personal gain, agreed to whatever they tell him to come and do. And I will not be surprised if that agreement, he will abide by it, because he will not want a situation that happened again this time. Because there was a time they did a solution which was not signed by which was signed by all the party, but which was alleged that the Mr. Governor did not follow through. He may want to this time around not do that kind of a thing. Probably after winning the second term, he may now change his mind and then become a man of his own. But in politics, most times these days, most of our politicians are not on their own. They want to dance to the tune of certain people, particularly when you see certain people as the alpha and omega of politics in Nigeria.
Very, very true, Barrister. That's so very apt. And I'm so unfortunate that we're having this sort of politics. I can't remember if we have ever had this bad, from the First Republic down onto what we have today. But you did say that politics is a game of interest. Very hypocritical job, if you would ask me, because you don't know what the next man is thinking about, if he will throw you under the bus or not. Let's assume that Fubara agrees to whatever it is they are bringing to him. Do you think there might be something in the inside of Fubara that might go against some of the things they have planned? Because right now, Fubara has had the opportunity of seeing those that are against him. Some of the commissioners and those he had placed in the positions of authority have turned against him. So do you think he is playing another good game like he learned from Nyesom Wike on just pretending and maybe going against what he wants in his mind?
I don't believe those commissioners that we are talking about, he was the one that put them in place. He wasn't. They were imposed on him by the former governor, and they were selected for him. And once there's a disagreement between himself and the former governor, those who since they came in through the former governor, they have to go and they have to disrespect him. That's how you see the House of Assembly. They are also not loyal to him because they are loyal to the former governor. So for me, like I said, I will not be surprised if the governor agree to whatever they are bringing to him. But whether it is in interest of the people or not, as long as he will take him back to the office, he may likely support that, and he will like say, "Let me just take it first, and then we'll take it from there." Your question again, another thing you said, I can't remember.
Yes, I actually said with what we have today, the type of politics that we play today, have we seen any of that since our first republic, where people do not have a mind of their own? It's becoming more of a rubber-stamped kind of politics. You do as your mentor has instructed you to do.
It's always been like that, but it's becoming more daring now. It's always been like that. People have always been playing politics of interest. It's always been like that. You see them, they play politics of interest. I tell you, you see, what people who see APC as a stable party today, let APC leave government tomorrow. You now know that. So these people are not even settled. They are just, most people are bottling their grievances because they have the president. They believe that, look, they don't want to be seen as being in the bad book of the president. They want to be recognized. They want to be relevant, and that's why you see them aligned. You can see Mr. Wike, who is not ready to settle with anybody. I also want to talk about that. You see, when you talk about the settlement you are talking about, it depends on whether Mr. Wike is interested or not. Because when Mr. Wike is fighting you or is having issue with you, it is not you that will determine whether, or it is not the consensus between the two of you or any other person that is intervening that will determine whether or not that dispute will be settled. It is whether or not Mr. Wike is interested in settling the matter, probably because whatever that is looking for has been achieved. It's because it's always about him. Once his own term, once settlement is not about his term, you can't settle. And that's why you see what happened in PDP. It's not as if there was no so much advances to him to have the matter settled. But because it's made up his mind that this is what I want to, if I don't get this, no other way. So for me, the settlement of this matter is not only in the hands of Mr. Governor. Even Mr. Governor agreed to abide by the terms. If Mr. Wike is not interested in dealing with him again, because there will be suspicion. I'm telling you, because the likelihood of Mr. Fubara getting the second term may be difficult, because they will not trust him again. They will believe this man that is in the first time that is fighting me. If he gets his second time, he's not looking for anything again. He may even make it a proper fight. So he may be worried in that regard, and he may just accept in a way, and then I know definitely there's no way they will come back together and the situation will be the way they were before that time. So for me, the system has been like this for long. We have always had politicians who always think about their own personal interest, and that personal interest is the reason why you see most people who will be APC this morning will become PDP in the afternoon, and become Labour Party in the night, or you become Labour Party in the night, and in the morning you become an APC. You see somebody who will come up on national, international TV, talk bad about a party or about the president. You can see Mr. Buala He said once if you have intelligence or if you have brain, once you join APC, your brain will shut down. So you can see that today now somebody is behaving as if the brain has been shut down. So that is, you see, politicians is about interest. Something that you can never say never in politics. You can't say this one cannot happen. Anything can happen in politics. You cannot say this one cannot work with this one. It's not about fighting. It's about interest. Once the interests align, they work together.
Yes, speaking about the interest, Barrister Deji Adeyanju, while he was speaking on the national television, arranged a chronological order of those that have helped Nyesom Wike, and he ended up fighting with them. And he stated that it is very possible, going by the antecedents of Nyesom Wike, that a time would come when he would have a fight with the president. Do you see that in the offing? And what do you think that President Bola Tinubu is equally preparing, knowing that he understands politics and betrayal very well? Do you think that both of them are just in denial? They're just lying to themselves, just for the interest that they have?
I want to align with the Nigerian that the people who have helped Wike, majority of them, not even majority, almost all of them, have helped Wike have been the people who are his enemy today. And I will not be surprised if this is also the same. As it is today, they are playing politics because all of them is a minister, is the president, they are enjoying themselves. Once their interest is not aligning, you see the other side of both of them. But the president can play politics very well. You know, he's also said he's a good politician. But I know it's not only him. It's not only Mr. Wike. It's even Nyesom Wike. People who brought him into politics. You can see Atiku brought him into politics. Yeah. He fought Atiku to go and join Obasanjo. He joined Obasanjo. He fought Obasanjo to go and align with Yaradua also. I can't remember. He fought Jonathan. Later he became a friend of Jonathan. He fought Jonathan to become. He abused Buhari in favor of Jonathan. Today, yesterday, he was Buhari's one of the Buhari's spokesperson in quotes. Yesterday, he was also one of the Asuwaju strongest supporter few months ago or few years ago. Today, so it's not only him. Majority of the people who claim they are politicians, who claim they know how to play politics, that's the way they behave. They don't see betrayal as anything. They don't see. They see everything as politics. They see it as a game that if you don't play your game very well, they will be. So they don't that issue you are talking about, that aspect of they don't think about. They play what is on ground now. They will leave it for tomorrow will come and they will play it the way it comes tomorrow.
But how do they feel? But how do they really feel? You are a politician yourself. How do politicians truly feel when they are living in denial, when they feel that life is just about politics and not emotion? They don't think of how much it affects the next person when they hurt this person. How do they truly feel? Do they sleep and sleep well? That's the question.
Because people who are supposed to even caution them will be praising them. They like I said, what makes you a good politician in Nigeria is to know how to manipulate, is to know how to deceive and get results, is to know how to. So if you are getting results and people are praising you for being a good politician, are you going to feel anything? You feel okay. Did you not hear what Governor Wike said? Mr. Wike said. He said when he was asked the question, he said, "Who is Tinubu without me?" So you can see the way he placed himself. He has seen himself as the alpha and omega of Tinubu. That without him, Tinubu cannot survive. So that's the way, and people are praising him for being the one who achieved, who made one of the people who make it happen. So and he's seen himself. So if you are doing something, even though you are doing it wrongly, and people are praising you, will you feel anything? You won't feel. People who are supposed to blame you, who are supposed to say, look, you are giving us hardship, you are creating problem for us, are the same people that will be praising him and say he knows how to play politics. He's a master strategy. He's a good politician. So if you can manipulate and get results, people praise you. So why will you feel bad about that? That's why you see most people who don't know how to manipulate, who don't know how to do shali, who don't know how to do. You can see Mr. Wike when he wants to greet Mr. President. Now you can see how well he will bend. And I've seen that kind of before, even with Mr. Peter Obi. Today you see Mr. Peter Obi as his board.
Yes.
I've seen him bend down in that manner. Yes. So Mr. Peter Obi. I've seen him bend down in that manner to Mr. Alhaji Atiku Abubakar. I've seen him bend in that manner to so many other people. Today, President Jonathan, even his wife, today, those people are like a boy to him, according to him, in quotes. So it's about time, it's about what happened. So what they believe is that we are playing politics and playing it well. That's why they will tell you this politics. Politics is about manipulation as far as they are concerned. It's not about people. It's not about giving people the dividend of democracy. It's about them getting what they are looking for. Once they get what they are looking for, they are good politicians and they are doing well as far as they are concerned. So therefore they will sleep well and they will even feel they are able to achieve what other people cannot achieve. I'll be able to do this, I'll be able to do that, and I'll be able to get results. And that's why I'm where I am. So how would that kind of person feel bad? He won't feel bad because he's achieving as far as he's concerned.
Very, very true, Barrister. We just have to leave it at this particular point because one would wonder, just yesterday or day before, the presidency approved the 10 billion naira for a mini solar grid in Aso Rock because of the 923 million naira they are owing with PHCN in Abuja. You know, and this speaks to what you are talking about. Leadership in Nigeria is just about self. Once they can satisfy themselves, they don't care. Bola Tinubu has forgotten. He was the one that made it possible for the classism, band A to band E. And he's even left us with no band and going to form his own national grid. And it's actually very selfish, if you ask me. Don't you think so, Pastor Tunji?
You are right. You are right. That's the thinking of our leaders. They see them. They are leaders first. They take care of themselves first before thinking about the others. The citizens are complaining about lack of electricity. You are providing alternative for the Aso Rock, where you live, where you people are, and you are living the citizen. And some people who are supporters will come and tell you and give you excuses as to even in US,
yes,
the president they buy solar. As if US citizens are complaining of low lights. If everybody in Nigeria is having light, even if you like, let the president buy 1 trillion naira solar, people will not even see. They will not even complain. But what we are saying is that there is no light. Majority are not having light in the country, 99%. And either the president look for solution to it, they are instead looking for solution for their own benefits. And then people are saying they don't well. There's nothing wrong in buying solar. It's not alternative energy. So if you are buying solar, if you are doing that to yourself, what are you giving to the citizen? Which alternative are you giving to the citizen? That is the question that we should be asking ourselves. Not that we are not saying it's bad for them to buy. If everything is in order, if electricity, there is stable electricity in the country, people will not be concerned about whatever the president is buying or whatever they are not buying solar or whether they are buying it. People will not be bothered. But what we're saying is that there is no light. There is no stable electricity. There is no affordable electricity, and rather the government are even spending a humongous amount of money, 10 billion naira, and then they want to acquire that for themselves. It's a pity. Mr. Henry, please, let's just leave it.
Thank you so very much, Barrister Tunji Abdulhamid, for being here. We truly do appreciate you once more. Thank you.
Thank you for having me. It's my pleasure to be with you.
All right, people, that's just about the time we have for today. We'd love to say thank you to you for being part of it. Please do well to visit us if you may. You can always find us at enterprisetvnews.com, and also do like, comment, and follow us on all our social media platforms at Enterprise TV 7. I am Henry Igwebike. Thank you for watching. We'll see you tomorrow. Bye-bye. Good morning and welcome. This is Enterprise Morning, reaching you from Enterprise Television. I am Henry Igwebike. We'll be starting off today with our newspapers, and right after that will be our main conversation. Please do well to be part of what we do. You can always find us at enterprisetvnews.com. You may equally like, comment, and follow us on all our social media platforms at Enterprise TV 7. We're very so honored to have with us, joining us via Zoom, Barrister Tunji Abdulhamid, Barrister, Law Public Affairs Analyst. Good morning to you, Barrister, and welcome.
Good morning, Henry. Thank you for having me.
Thank you so very much, sir. So let's start off today with our newspaper headlines. We'll start from the Punch newspaper for today, and we have on the very top strip here, emergency rule Fubara may shift grounds after Tinubu's UK meeting. That would be possibly our main conversation for today. But let's take a look at other stories. Nigeria's rebased inflation to hit 37% in 2027. 8 banks spend 4.6 trillion naira on salaries and operations. Senate lambasted Bakare over rubber stamp remarks. The barrister, I'd love us to take a look on that one. Barrister Tunde Bakare, who of course was one of the leading founders of the Occupy Nigeria protest in 2012. I guess this movie that he made was in sympathical to what he equally led in 2012, just not to, get, missing out of the way. But looking at what the National Assembly had said and counted what he talked about, what do you think about that?
Yeah, I think looking at what he has said, he has not said anything that is new. He has not told any lie against the government or against the Senate or anybody. He has just brought out the facts as known to almost everybody in the country. Most Nigeria are at home with what he said because what he said are reality. They are the things that are on ground. So calling government out to do the needful to correct the error is not something out of the way. Bearing in mind that he was also part of those who waged war, or should I call who protested against Jonathan when the subsidy was to be removed. In fact, he was his sole, his organization, Save Our Soul or something. I can't remember the name of the organization again. They are the brain behind the protest of no to subsidy. He was there. So speaking out now, he's not something that is not common, and he has not, like I said, he has not told any lie against anybody. But I expect him to also do more. I expect him to do the way, not only talking, because everybody has been talking, and that's why I said what he said is not new. It's what most of us have been saying for long. So if he wants to also lead to his bidding, let him also lead another protest. In like of that happened in 2012. To show his discomfort or his dissatisfaction with the government activities. But he has not said anything that is not correct against the Senate. The Senate are not doing their job. They are not the job being assigned. They are doing like Senate. National Assembly is like a department under the executive. So if you are to supervise me, you are doing as if you are under me. That means you are a rubber stamp. You are not doing your job. So he has not said anything that is untoward. In fact, if there's any word that is an adjective that is even better than rubber stamp, you can call this in it. In fact, the Obasanjo was unlucky that he was not. This is not the kind of National Assembly that he had when he was in government. Otherwise, probably he may still remain in power today, or he will have been done third and fourth time.
Yes.
Because the way we are going, this National Assembly are like they are working together with the executive. Yeah, working together to promote Nigerian development, yes, that's their job. But working together to make the country a one-man state or an individual's estate is not the way to go. That's what they are doing. Whether a policy is good or not, whether the Nigerians are interested in that policy or not, as long as the president is interested in it, the National Assembly will approve it. What do we call that of National Assembly? That will not even take care of the interests of the people that they are representing. They do not even see themselves as representing the Nigerian people. They see themselves as representing their party, and therefore, whatever the party and the president is looking for must be achieved. That's not the way to go, and that's not the role of the National Assembly. The National Assembly members are the mouthpiece of their representative of their people, and if they are not speaking the mind of your people, then you are not doing them any favor. You are doing the wrong thing. So I don't want to. I agree with him. He has said the right thing. He has not said anything that's untoward. The National Assembly, I expect them, or the Senate, I expect them to respond, and that is normal, usual response. They will deny it, and they will tell you they are doing their job. They are not expected to be antagonizing the president. We are not saying you should antagonize the president. We are asking you to ask questions, relevant and germane questions. They are not asking questions. That is the point we are making. You see, we are being told that the law said you confirm an emergency rule, for instance, by 2/3. You come about and start saying a false vote. Who can determine 2/3 of a false vote? So these are the kind of things that we're talking about. They will bring a request for loan. There will be no detail of the loan. You will approve it. What do we call you? I don't know any other name that we can call them than being a subservient and a rubber stamp or a department under the executive.
So very true, Barrister. It's one thing for someone to deny what others have said about them. It's another thing for the person to consistently live in denial of such counter on the person who has said anything about them. But let's take a look at other matters. Killings. IG deploys special anti-bandit squad nationwide. Bandits strike again. Kill 18 in Kwara. Barrister, let's talk about this, especially with the emergence of the Mahmuda insurgent group that are terrorizing parts of Nigeria. From Kwara State, they are beginning to move across different parts of the country. Could this be another sort of Jonathan kind of destabilization by terrorist organizations and insurgents on Bola Tinubu?
It's unfortunate that this is coming from my state. It's unfortunate that our state is known as a state of harmony and state of peace. But today we are seeing this kind of insecurity because there is no provision for security. The federal government and the state government are not
from the state governor. Is that what you're saying?
Both the federal and the state, they are not doing enough. The federal government controls the security organs. In other words, the president is the commander-in-chief of armed forces, and he directs the police, the army, and whatever as to what to do. The governor also has a role to play in that. He's also considered as the chief security of the state. Even though I know he has no control of any of the activities, but he collects what we call security allowances every month, running to millions of naira or billion. I don't know what they collect now. So, and I'm not aware that we have enough personnel. They have enough facility support from the state government in terms of vehicle, ammunition, or any other thing that is needed to fight insecurity. And that's why I said both the state and the federal are to be blamed. You see, this is not new. It's been on even before the administration of this regime, Bola Tinubu. So I will not say it's Jonathan's style. What happened during Jonathan's regime? It's been there. It's been all along. And they came in and said they have the solution to the problem. But they are coming and telling us today that they met it on grant. So when you met it on grant, are you not supposed to solve it? If you are not able to, you are coming here on board to solve the problem on board. Government, if people don't know, those in government are not there to come and enjoy. Their job is to come and solve problems. That's the job they have. That is the only job the government have. Solve problem of welfare, solve problem of insecurity. That is the major job you have. So if they say provide welfare, provide security, they are not saying come and enjoy, come and provide solar for Aso Rock, come and provide private jets, come and buy this. That's what we're saying is to come and be doing. Their major responsibility is to find solution to problems on grant. So coming out to say this is not our doing, we met it on grant. We met it on grant and you are not able to do anything for almost 2 years. Then you have no business being in government. So for me, it's unfortunate that we are having this. And you see, like I said, I don't want to attract any name to any criminal activities. I don't want to say it's one Mahmuda, one whatever. How do we know their names? How do we establish them? Have they come out to say we are that? The people will say we have even clear, maybe the Boko Haram that will say they are no longer in Borno or whatever. Maybe they are the one that are even located to those areas. Maybe they are the one that change a style of operation, and then we start calling them bandits. We call them S-men. We call them this and that. Let's call them a terrorist or criminal. Then we know how to fight them. But by the time you start in putting name in them, you are trying to I think reduce the effect of what they are doing and seeing it as a group of people who are trying to fight for something. No, I see them as criminal. I see them as terrorists. Unfortunately, we don't have people in government who have the capacity to deal with it. That is just the issue. Failure of government is the reason why we are seeing this continuity of insecurity in our country.
But Barrister, speak to me on this de-radicalization project of the federal government. I do not know. Do you see that as a way of maybe a dialogue when they de-radicalize and a terrorist that has been found guilty, you de-radicalize them, fund them, and send them back to the society, while the people they have killed and dismembered, some of them are dead, some of them are still in IDP camps. What do you think is the policy where people who are supposed to face justice are de-radicalized and sent back to the society?
What is the meaning of the radicalization? I don't believe in that. What you call, I've said it, that we are used to giving adjective to soften issue that is serious. Bringing people together who have been accused of killing people, who have been alleged of causing harms, displacing communities, key members of those communities, occupy their community, and you are able to say in quotes arrest some of them, and you say you have radicalized them. What is the meaning of radicalization? If that is the way to go, because I'm not aware that anywhere in our law we talks about radicalization as part of the way of justice when you commit crime. What I know is that when you commit crime, you go to court, and then when you go to court, if you are guilty, they pass the appropriate sentence. And
sorry to interject you. Don't you think this is similar to the amnesty program that happened and still happens in the Niger Delta region? Because it's still same thing. Though these people killed people, but these people are equally destroying the assets of Nigeria, which is still crime. So don't you think that the radicalization is some form of amnesty program for them?
They are all in the same range. They are all in the same category. They are all similar. And that's why I said the idea of adjective cunning and then bringing the adjective to qualify is just a mere attempt to reduce the weight of that offense. When you say amnesty, you are saying people who have been found guilty of a crime. Who have admitted committing crime, have been brought back into the system and have been given a soft landing and become a citizen. So for me, how do we even legalize? If you want to, why are the governments not considering going to the what's it called, correctional center as they call it?
Yes, and they radicalize those ones.
Why are they not going there to radicalize them and bring them back to society? Why is it that only people who have been accused of killing, who are supposed to be classified as terrorists, are the ones being radicalized? How can you radicalize somebody who is a criminal? How can you say you are able to? That is the reason why this is continuing. They will come back. They will feel relaxed. They will guess what they want to get. They will go back again. So for me, I'm not even one of those who is in support of either amnesty or whatever name you are calling it. Because people, have you seen government organize any good program, quality program, or quality policy that will enhance the life of the people who have suffered in the hands of these people who are being radicalized? Because some of them are in IDP. These IDP were told sometimes they don't even have enough food to eat. Sometimes they don't even know what to eat. Sometimes they eat what they see. So people who made them to become an IDP patients or IDP dwellers are being given a state of art ceremony. They are being given they are being put in a place where or given a scholarship, being given so many other things in that regard. I don't know what that is as far as I'm concerned. That is not for me. That for me is not what we need to move a country forward.
Very, very true, Barrister. Let's maybe take a look at other matters coming from the Vanguard newspaper. We have worsening insecurity. A Niger government imposes curfew. 11 killed in fresh Benue attack. On the very top strip, you have IMF lower Nigeria's economic growth forecast to 3. The same IMF that had contributed to the problem that we have, very unfortunately. But let's take a look at other matters here. World leaders expected as Vatican fixes Saturday for Pope Francis's funeral. Barrister Tunji Abdulhamid, I know, I do not know, but I would love to believe that President Bola Tinubu might make a visit to the Vatican City in Rome for the burial of the pontiff. And many Nigerians have accused the president. He was very quick to commiserate with the Vatican City on the death of the Pope, but he hasn't said anything yet on many people that had been killed in Benue and Plateau State. Do you think that is hypocrisy, classical form of hypocrisy by the president?
Harry, to my knowledge, I think they've done that. They've sent a usual statement. They've released it.
To
the
who?
Usual statement they released. They've released that statement while he was abroad. The statement was released by Onanuga or somebody to commiserate and with the people of Benue and what's it called, and Plateau State. That is their usual style. They to tell them that we are on top of the game. We are with them with this and that. I think they did that. They have that kind of a statement, similar to what was issued in respect of a Pope yesterday or the day or day before yesterday or whatever yesterday. Yes, I think they've done that.
Yeah.
But you see, but I expect that a president that is commander-in-chief of armed forces, a such killing will happen or in part of your country that you govern, and you travel abroad and you return back home, and you have not deemed it fit to go and say. I was expecting that the first call will be those Plateau and what's it called, and Benue State. I'm not aware the president has even been moving from one place to another to see most of these states. The president has gone to France or other country far more than he has visited any state in Nigeria. So the president is more concerned about economy. As long as, if what happened in Benue and Plateau State has to do with our economy, you will see the swift action from the president. You will see what the president will do. That will not be this. There will have been different approach to it. So they are more concerned about economic activities. They are more concerned about where money will come in. They are more concerned about where government will get more money. But when it comes to killing of our people, that is they see that as, in quotes, as normal, as far as I'm concerned today, because they have their usual statement that they always release to commiserate and tell them that they are behind them. They are going to do all that is needed. They come to tell us stories. They come every day to give assurances that will not be there and to give excuses, just like the one that was given yesterday by the NSA. That to the fact that they are not the one that did not create the crisis, they made the crisis. As if a government that is coming in place is coming to enjoy. It's not coming to solve crisis. You are coming to solve problems. Like I said earlier on, it appears they don't know, and that's why I am of the opinion that most of the people in this cabinet are overrated and they be exposed. Before now, most of them are seen as a super intelligence. For me, from what I've seen so far, in most of these people, some of them are not even intelligent at all. They were just privileged to be where they are. They cannot. If you are doing an exam, in terms of, I'm not talking about writing paper, because I have always believed that examination is not the best test to determine who is good, who is not good. It's not for me, because some people are good, but when it comes to exam, they can't write it, they will fail. But when it comes to application of it, they are very good. So I have always not. I don't believe that writing exam is the best, or getting a 2-1 first class distinction or whatever is what make you to be intelligent or best. Some people know how to cram, and they will just pour it down, and they will get the mark. Thereafter, ask them questions they don't know. So for me, most of these people in the authority have just been exposed to me as being overrated. Some of them today, if they are not in government today, will be thinking that if this man has been put in this government, if that man has been put in that government, if this has been in this position, things will not be like this. Today they are there. We are not seeing any difference. In fact, they are even drawing us back. So as far as I'm concerned, the government is not showing too much concern regarding security. Their major concern is about economic activities, and whatever that will affect economy is what they are more concerned about. Where money will come in is their major area of concentration. So, and that's why you see them, they don't care much when it comes to, you see the swift action in River State. What was the excuse? That the oil production will be affected. And that's the major reason why they. So if they are all, let's even assume that in River State, there is no issue of oil, what's it called? What they call it now? The bomb that happened, what they call it that? Blasting of oil or oil pipeline.
Yeah, the pipeline. Yeah.
Let's say the people are just killing themselves, one committee or the other. The government may not even do anything. They will just look at it as normal. And as long as the pot of our soup has not been, it's not been destroyed, the oil is not being touched, they don't care. So for me, the government has not shown enough that they have the capacity to provide security for us. Even the economy we're talking about, they have not shown enough that they have the ability to deliver our economy or to give us good economy. What they are just doing is all things that will give money to the government is what they are concerned about. It's not about the development of the people. It's not about the welfare of the people. It's about them. What to bring money to the government, what to give government more power in terms of getting more money. That's what they are concerned about. The economic policy they are bringing is creating more hardship on the people. So for me, the government has not done enough. The president has not done enough. And the president is not even showing enough concern regarding this killing that is happening in the country.
Very, very true, Barrister. One would never have thought or imagined that the likes of President Bola Tinubu, would sit idly and watch when things are going bad and sour in Nigeria and actually not doing anything. Joe Biden, at about 80-something years old, still visited victims of a different sort of carnage. And the question is, why would our president not do the same? And this speaks to the issue of intentional leadership, which we do not have and is grossly lacking in our country, Nigeria. Just to let you know, Barrister will be here to take us on our main conversation when we return. Tinubu meets Fubara for possible return after Rivers' suspension in the UK. That in a bit. Don't go anywhere. So can we run straight? Can we?
Hello folks, I greet you. Welcome one more time to another program in the series, Homo Politicus, which, as I always say, is a friendly octopus that claws at any and everything that tends to raise the national adrenaline. Today, hear this: 1 trillion naira spent to fight insecurity in 6 months in Nigeria, report reveals. A former president of the United States of America, the 16th, John Fitzgerald Kennedy, JFK, famously said, let me quote him, "It's an unfortunate fact that we can secure peace only by preparing for war," end quote. The question is, here and now, who's preparing for war? Well, the federal government of Nigeria is believed to have spent a whopping 1 trillion naira fighting insecurity in the first 6 months of 2024 alone. That's between January and June this year. Again, the rising tide of insecurity in the land has claimed more than 5,000 lives within the same period already. And for those who agree, it's put a price on human life. So is the sum too much, or is it just a question of the need for judicious use and accountability? Let's have a conversation, please. We'll meet and greet the conversationalists this morning. in no particular order, we meet and greet Dr. Mrs. Olabisi Deji Folutile. I greet you, ma'am.
Thank you.
She's joined by the effervescent Akin Fatunke. Akin, I greet you too.
I greet you, Citizen Jones, and I say thank you to our viewers and listeners for tuning in.
Yeah, you know, the first thought that will, flood the mind of the viewer or the listener in this case is why 1 trillion on, national security. But gentlemen, you agree that national security is important and you spend money.
Yes, you have to spend money. And for me, even if it's 1 kobo, if it is 20 trillion, beggars the issue. The octopus, one of the wings of the octopus is accountability, and that the money is not going down the drain. If experience is anything to guide me in why I am saying this, within the last 23 years of our coming back to civil rule, it has continually been the fact that our spending, after being spent, it's gone down the drain. It's used for politics, it's used for political campaign. You find them in the gutters and the sinks, become so malicious. We have had people who have been downed from the plane, basically because they wanted to spill the beans. So that for me becomes a no-no. Still on accountability and transparency. Are these amounts appropriated? So you can say yes, appropriated. Look, how have they been accounted for? Are we spending more or we are spending less? And I know I might be sounding a bit mechanistic. When it comes to human life, there is nothing that can ever replace human life. Are we in a position to therefore say, with the security votes that go to subnational governments and the security votes that is available to the federal government itself, are we getting value for money? If you look at the US, or you look at USSR, you look at China, you may plus or minus say that you look at the scorecard, even if it is a minimal scale, you see a move forward. In our own case, what you see on the scorecard is all negatives, and the thing is not receding. Who is getting what? I know at the time we were going to spend on Tocano. Again, the fact that we have not been a producing nation, all we need to get is imported. Our industrial complex, military industrial complex, is highly dependent, even though that is changing now.
Essentially, Mr. Fadonga, you are talking about financial prudence.
Financial prudence,
which involves managing our finances and resources in a careful, cautious,
on the side of that. Two coins I said. On the side of that is, are we measuring? Are we actually measuring the fact that we should be spending money on hardware? Than intelligence policing, making sure that our policing is well devolved to the states and to the grassroots level? Those are the questions.
Okay. Just before I go any further, viewer, please let me correct myself. John F. Kennedy was the 35th president of the US, not the 16th. The 16th, I'm sure you know, was Abraham Lincoln. Okay. Sister Bisi, usually poor governance will bring about doubts in accountability, which can culminate into a low pace of economic development. So trust deficit comes in here.
Yeah, I think if we look at our experience in Nigeria,
Collective experience,
and let me even, in terms of that security aspect, in the last, I think, I can safely say 16 years, we've been confronted with diverse issues bordering on insecurity. We started with the Boko Haram insurgency that resulted in abduction, kidnapping of students, burning of public places, suicide bombings, and all of that. Later, it came to banditry and
cattle rustling and all that.
And up till now, for those who live in the northern part of the country, they are still confronted every day with these serious issues of insecurity, and to the extent that many of them had left their farms, because you now have to actually apply to the laws, the laws around the place. You have to pay taxes to criminals for you to access your farms and the rest, which is even one of the reasons we have food crisis that we are experiencing.
Direct result.
Yes, direct result. And so insecurity has been a very big issue. But the interesting thing is that the government has also been pumping money at solving the problem. If you look at this 1-point-something trillion naira, is the highest budgetary vote to any sector that has ever been spent, even this year, higher than what was spent on economic development, higher than what was spent on health, higher than what was spent on education. Yet, for me, I will look at it that, are we curing the effect or looking at the cause? Because until we begin to tackle our problems from the foundation, we may not get any results. And I agree with him on the issue of accountability, because we are all overwhelmed by this problem of insecurity and everybody is seeking solution. We find ourselves just in a situation where government keeps pumping money, and we also got reports in the past of some generals building houses in Dubai, having properties across the world. You get it? And nobody has been brought to book, nobody has been investigated. So the question of trust that you raised comes in. Do we really trust that all this money that we say are voted towards securing us? Mind you, we are not even putting money in anticipation of a war. No, that is not what this budget is all about. It's about even securing the environment. So are we sure that this money is really doing the job? Because if it is, then we will not have a situation where every one of us seems to think that we have been overwhelmed by criminals.
Gentlemen, but let's get one thing clear here. The 1 trillion naira is not spent by the federal government alone. There are 19 states in the north. Security votes are given to each of the 19 states in the north. And the pertinent question is, here now would be, how much result can we say we have after spending as much?
I think this money we are talking about is from the federal government purse, because we are looking at budgetary allocation here, and it's saying that it's talking about the amount of money spent from the budget, the national budget. It is not the federal government that provides money for states. This is what you are talking about. The state security allocation will be in addition to this amount of money.
RMAFC or something. Yeah.
That we are talking about here. So which even makes it look more suspicious. You get it? Because how many people can really claim to be safe with just government protection? Yeah. I'm not sure if in where you live, if you don't have private security guards. In my estate we have, and in almost every estate I see in Lagos, they have some sort of personal private arrangement with all these private protection agencies and the rest. So what we are saying is that whatever it is that is voted towards security, maybe as security votes, is really not getting to the bottom.
Yeah.
Such that all Nigerians can really say we are safe.
At this point, trust deficiency will come to mind, and if there's a trust deficiency, it is inimical to economic potential. If it becomes a culture, then we are damned, or so it seems. Don't you think?
Perception is stronger, much more potent than reality. The perception out there, whether from the economics, whether from the international donor agency, whether the democracy that we say we are practicing, which for all intents and purposes is not moving us anywhere, any direction. I like to say that from my private sector experience, if Nigeria were to be a PLC that I have to be
a limited liability company
to superintend over, it would have gone under a long time ago. So Nigeria is not viable. We have potentials. So please, we have potential. But Nigeria is not viable. And if we are spending 1.4 trillion, okay, so double that or to triple that because of inflation and devaluation at the end of the year, how much are we earning? How much have we been able to earn? Should we not therefore be doing what I call intelligence policing? Okay. Even before we get in there, you see, the first mark of leadership is for you to raise your hand and say things have overwhelmed this country. Now, I am not going to politics. It's not a politics of which party or not which party. I am looking at Nigeria as a PLC. Nigeria as a PLC is not viable and is not moving towards the right direction. What is the cure? The cure is truth. In the private sector, Citizen Jones, I learned from very early, when we compete, it's like me and Olabisi competing in class or, competing for space. She's in a different department as me. I have to make sure I do all the things I need to do on time, on budget, so that, if you understand what I'm saying, to outshine her, so that when promotion is going to come and they want to put everything on fairness, I will be the one and vice versa. We are in a situation where if you look at the 19 states of the North, I don't have to go far. With the peaceful protest or non-peaceful protest that is going on, and the kind of scenes that I am seeing, will you therefore say that it will be money appropriately spent, or that we are just deceiving ourselves? So the truth, therefore, will be for us to say this 1 trillion, what have you spent it on? One. Secondly, I also know there are too many leakages, Citizen Jones. Those leakages, whether you are looking at it from the NNPC angle, what are we producing, what is being stolen, what are subsidy or no subsidy, there is a quantum amount of money that is extra budgetary that comes into it. For us to not then know what exactly are we spending on. I also am aware that when it comes to DSS, secrets, that not a number of above us or, clandestine thing that you have to do. You don't have to show it to the whole world. But there are people within the military that were able to say, yes, I can vouch for the fact that these are monies well spent. We had presidents in this country who, after their disagreements, we started hearing that from some of these security votes or some of these leakages, they are buying cars for girlfriends. Obviously, I really sympathize with you because, I mean, I'm not trying to be, but they don't buy those cars for their boyfriends. So I believe. So the whole thing is so skewed and so decrepit that we must begin to now say to ourselves, Citizen Jones, that spend 3 trillion, spend 4 trillion. We are now looking at security. We are not looking at the other sectors. We are not looking at the SDG 17 that is showing all red, that is taking and sinking our country.
Okay.
As we speak, we are not yet on our way to go. Okay, we are on our way to Golgotha, but I hope
we have not gotten there.
I hope we'll be able to get a cross that will take us there.
Okay. BC, in the immediate aftermath of 9/11, if you remember, the American Congress came with the Patriot Act, and it took 10 long years to hunt the architect of the attack. So bring that here. The first attack, major attack of the insurgents anywhere in the country was at Chibok, if you remember, was it May?
2014 or
2014.
It was 2014 sometime. I don't know. Initially, it was Buniyadi. February.
Well, the one that raised the roof was the Chibok girls.
That one to also raise the roof. They went into dormitories and started.
Yeah.
Okay, then we had the Chibok.
So you expected Nigeria to behave like the United States of America, since we claim we are aping that type of democracy. We didn't go after these people, or did we?
That is even too far. You are talking about 2014. It's too far. Let's talk about now. Okay. Just recently, this popular Gidon Yaki or whatever his name is, Daji, whatever, came out publicly, and the video is still there, mentioning a prominent minister that is still in this government as being their sponsor and the one that has been promoting insurgency and banditry. What has happened? Are they gone after this guy? Do they know them? Don't they know them? You see, our government knows all the leaders of this.
Perhaps you are constraining me now. Let me take you back to the Obasanjo years. You remember that Mohammed Yusuf was thought to be the leader of the movement.
Yes.
No sooner had he
been eliminated.
No sooner, just after he was brought to the national limelight, he was killed.
Yes,
and nothing has been done.
No, even that was a wrong killing, and Obasanjo said that, because Obasanjo was still trying to even speak to him to get information.
Recall that two people former President Obasanjo met regarding Mohammed Yusuf were killed as well.
Yeah, so for me, I think we are not serious, because it's like these people that we talk about that are behind these insurgencies have some powerful people behind them, and that they don't want them to spill the beans and the rest, and so there are, if you look at insecurity situation in Nigeria, I may be wrong, but you have this perception that some people are deliberately fueling this insecurity. They are behind them, and that is one of the reasons why even the faces we see that come out and say, yes, we are the ones that did this, we bombed air, we did this, that they are not being brought to book. And even the few ones that were arrested, we release them. We call them radicalization, that de-radicalization and all of that. And so you see our government bringing out criminals, forgiving criminals, and you now wonder, and still voting huge sums of money to fight criminality. Is it that we encourage criminality so that we can get money, money that
essentially,
we can see?
our sister is talking about fifth columnists. They are the real devil here, you know.
Okay.
And added to the fact that we hardly punish bad behavior in this country. And that has become a culture.
I understand your concept of fifth columnists, but the people that are responsible are the first columnists. They are the ones inside government. They are the ones controlling government. They are the ones controlling who rules, who does not rule. After all, Yusuf that you're talking about, who says that Western education is sin. My heart was brought in by a politician to try and defend the indefensible.
The man became a senator.
And not only did he
brought him.
Become a senator, and then the guys, they were left on, and then they before then, after all, Abacha has said, I can tell you, take me to the bank, but we can't take me to the bank now because it's going.
I'm not preempting you, but that statement credited to Abacha cannot be independently verified. So
I cannot independently verify, but I know for sure that those who are sponsoring all the insurgents have their hands. She just talked about
essentially Abacha was talking about the enemy within.
Okay. So the enemy within is first columnists.
Fifth columnists.
Okay, well.
There are supposed to be 4 columns.
Okay, all right. Well, there are 2 sides and one that we can introduce. So this one now we can also. But on a more serious note, I hear you loud and clear. Even if Abacha didn't say it, not too long ago, we started the prosecution of criminals and sponsors of criminals. They were taken and booked outside Nigeria, and we could do nothing. And they gave us the names. Those names are how many of these criminals have been prosecuted, and we still know who they are. So Nigeria has become a boo-boo of unimaginable proportions. And if it is not possible, and I go back to the basic fact, if it is not possible that we continue, our tribes and tongue will continually be different, and we cannot see things within the same prison, we must sit around the table and decide, like others have done, to go a bit loose and know what we are going to put at the center.
Aki, Nigeria has become like the big elephant sized up by a supposed blind man, you know. So whatever side the man touched was that Nigeria of his imagination.
Oh, the blind man of Hindustan. Yes, you can say that again. And the way things are, we cannot account for. There's a twin in the industry I belong to. You know, the oil and gas. We have money, a lot of money keeps on going down the drain. I keep on wondering, like Babangida said at one point in time, it's surprising that Nigeria is still standing on its feet, because on all sides we are bleeding.
Standing on its feet, giving the pummeling by him, I understand.
So who therefore is going to prosecute whom? You cannot be asking people who have their hands, their legs, their nose, and every other thing that they take away from the state to just hand.
So if you recall what Sister Bessie said a while back, we have refused to cure the cause, but going after the effect. Does this not tell you we are a long way from home?
No, we are far detached from even trying to be thinking of home. Excuse me, Sister Jones. Going to orbit, remember? There has to be a link. The last one that had a woman in there, when the thing detached fully. No science or technology could bring them back. They went into sprint training even before they landed. Nigeria is fast decelerating into abyss, and unless our politicians and our community leaders and our religious leaders and the kind of education and indoctrination that we have, I keep on pointing to what is happening in the north. How much do you really think you will need to be able to curb what we are beginning to see in the northern part of Nigeria? That's not to say that the southern part don't have their own issues. So Nigeria is a vehicle that is knocked, but we keep on painting it to make it look as if it can get to the destination. We are heading towards Kuala Namoda, and we are saying we are coming to Ekpe. We can't continue to deceive ourselves.
All right. Time, I'm told by the producer, is fast spent, so we must begin to go home. BC, you must plot the way home for us. What to do now? Because we must mold opinion and drop something on the table. What are we dropping now?
Well, for me, I think, like I said earlier on, we are not attacking the cause. You see, the army of out-of-school children in Nigeria, that is where we should start from. Educate these children. Educate these children. Educate them. You cannot you can't keep having the number of out-of-school children rising year after year.
But don't you think you are scratching a very hard surface now?
But that is the foundation.
Hold on, because the Goodluck Jonathan government built over 400 Almajiri schools. Those buildings are disused. They never were.
Yes, because Jonathan built them. You see, you can't profile.
Jonathan was the president.
I know. Let me finish. You cannot profile a solution to my problem if I, as an individual, do not recognize that as a problem. That is why you see those buildings getting out of use. But if as an individual, I realize that this is my problem, and that is the thing that the northern part of the country should come to. I've been hearing a lot of them talking along that line now, that they need to solve their problem. Like you rightly said, it's not as if the other parts of the country do not have their issues.
Secular problems.
But this issue of illiteracy, lack of education, which their leaders appear to be using for their own benefit, because you know that when people are enlightened, there is a limit to how you can control them. So to them, they withdraw education from these people so that they can further control them.
Because education is haram. Is an abomination.
So they say it is haram, but they send their own children to school.
Yeah.
And now, if you have ever visited Dubai, where it is 100% Islamic country, and you see the kind of life they live, and the way they send their children to school, you now ask yourself, what religion do we practice in Nigeria? Is it different from the normal Islam that is being practiced in Saudi Arabia?
Good. Busy, by that little reference to religion, one thing comes to mind here. It is what I got from the Israeli Wahala crisis. The man said, I told them I want to be Muslim but not Arabic. You know. So there is a difference. There is a difference between being a Muslim and being Arab. In your country, my country, busy. Some Muslims are thought to be infidels. Okay. Does it make sense to you? It doesn't make sense. That is what is putting them in problem. But you know what? These children that you refuse to send to school, you now think that you will be able to sleep. You will not be able to sleep because the north is breeding children of hunger and anger. Wow. And when you continue to breed children of hunger and anger,
even you yourself, you cannot have rest.
Peace.
And for me, until the North takes a decision to educate its army of out of school children and allow these children to go to school to be able to think. It's not only Western education, even Islamic education is not wrong. Yeah. Let them have formal education. And after all this civilization we talk about, please, Citizen Jones, Egypt, are they Christians? all the civilizations that we had in the world. So even the first university in the world is said to be created by Muslims. Yeah. So you cannot tell me that education is around.
But I'm sure you have heard about moderate Muslims and extremists. The Sunnis and the
extremist Muslims in Nigeria. They are not even extremists in terms of their religious commitment. Right. They are only extremists in cheating and preventing others from having access to education so that they can continue to be in control.
Aki, I'm reminded in this connection of the statement credited to an English novelist, Jasper Ford. He said, let me quote, "Religion is not the cause of wars, but its excuse. But its excuse."
And landed with Karl Marx that says religion is the opium of the masses. Talking about religion, the way it is practiced elsewhere and our own, Fela Anikulapo Kuti comes to my mind. It's a Kolo mentality. You go grab something and then you dissipate it. Secondly,
Fela's father was a religious
Dotun Ransom Kuti founded the BBHS. Look, point is this. At one point in time, two gentlemen, two statesmen arose in Nigeria, and one virtually was tapping the other and said, "Hey, good, let's forget our differences." And then the other one looked point blank and said, "Hey, we cannot forget our differences.
Let's know the differences.
Let's us accept the fact that we have these differences and walk around them." Referring to Nnamdi Azikiwe and the Sardana of Sokoto, Bello. It's still haunting us today. Nigeria is different countries, different cultures, different tribes. The earlier we come to terms and do away with this concept of Nigeria is not negotiable, we'll continue to march.
That's not the statement. Nigeria's unity is non-negotiable.
Nigeria's unity is not. Okay, maybe I can even add a twist that Nigeria's disunity is non-negotiable.
No. Akin, don't play on such. Please don't tease me here. Nigeria's unity is a popular saying. It is non-negotiable. You may tackle that one, but let's take this subject matter home now.
Many things that are happening in this country is not. I'm telling you, I never believed I was going to live to continue to see what we are saying. In Nigeria, we are saying disunity is what we are looking for. We can't.
No, that's what you are looking for. I'm not looking for that.
I said we, collectively.
Who are we? You have no right to speak for we.
Okay. Whether I have a right or I don't have a right.
You don't have that right.
But I have an opinion. My opinion is that Nigeria is moving so fast towards the abyss, and like Awolowo said in 1983, the ship of state was going to wreck. We're already wrecked. We can't continue to play with what
we are not.
Okay, now I am saying
Aki is pleading freedom of expression, opinion.
Yes,
but I'm pleading freedom of thought. I'm thinking differently from him.
And you have a right to have a right to have your thoughts. I also have a right, realistically, to make my opinion. I'm not impressing it on you.
Please don't.
I am making a statement that I've gotten to a stage in my life that I'm not going to continue to play with words. Nigeria is not united, and there are many reasons why Nigeria is not united, including our politics. Even right now as we speak, in Nigeria as we speak today, Basically, you are talking about the Northerners should go and find a way to educate their children. Who tells you that they are going to do that? We are different. So we should go our different ways and take a decision on what.
When they embattled 14th, or is it the 15th Emir of Kano, Sanusi, Lamido Sanusi,
yes,
spoke truth to the northern hegemony, northern power base.
yes.
Nobody liked him.
Why do you think they will like him? Because they have made up their mind that is the way they want to go. Sheikh Sani is also saying the same thing.
Yeah.
Now, other people from the north that I know are already saying the chicken has come home to roost. Are they going to listen? All the things that we are beginning to see in the north that is going on. I schooled in the north. I knew this was going to happen. We knew this was going, but I didn't know it was going to be.
Did you speak out? You didn't.
We spoke out. In Ahmadu Bello University, go and ask. Fast, we call it. Okay? We spoke out, but were they going to listen? Even in my own industry, we have been talking about the fact that Nigeria was going down on this subsidy or no subsidy. Did anybody try to listen?
I think we must end this show now. But don't forget, the news is that the government has spent over 1 trillion naira in tackling insecurity within the first 6 months of the year. We have talked about governance brings, poor governance brings about doubts, and we have mentioned
and erode
trust deficiency in the country, and
yes,
of course we have talked about religion,
yes,
and so on.
Yes.
How do you take it home? Is it possible in 60 seconds?
Yes, it's possible.
Yeah.
Let's come to reality. We have different tribes, we have different tongues. We need to come back and sit down. Stop when we spend 1.4 trillion. And we're going to spend about 3 of that before the end of the year, before we begin to see light. Nigeria is not working. I'm afraid. And we must come to terms that our different tribes and tongues. The only unity I see in Nigeria, whether you are different tribes and tongues, is when you're on the table. And that's the time you now then say you don't speak when you are eating. Nigeria is not going on that trajectory. I'm a God. I believe that we have the potential and we can change, but the political will and the discipline to go for that change is lacking. I pray I am wrong, like Obafemi said in 1983.
Bisi, can you do so? Same.
Yeah, I think our leaders should be sincere in the decisions they take. They should they should operate with the national in the national interest. They should also understand that whatever decision they take today will have implication for tomorrow. So if you are saying people should not go to school, or you encourage people not to go to school, know that at the end of the day you are going to reap the repercussion. Yes, it may not be you directly saying it, but if you support any policy, any argument, any notion that points to that direction without taking a different action to combat it, then you are seen to be in support, and that kind of action will have its implication for Nigeria's future.
Very well said. Thank you. All right, folks, our business is done here. We've molded opinion. The rest is left to decision makers. But let's thank Dr. Olabisi Deji-Folutile for coming. Thank you for your time, ma'am.
Thanks for having me.
And also Aki Fatunke, we thank you too.
It's a pleasure to be here. Thank you very much for having me.
All right, folks, I'm out of here. Let's do it the next time around. On behalf of the Backroom Boys, this is yours sincerely, Citizen Jones Hussein, saying bye-bye now. Take care. Enterprise